I mean, you're just gonna stand there. That's a real player. I'm looking at.
Requesting recon file. Changing mags.
Oh my god, bro.
Loading.
Stun incoming! Enemy in the area! Swapping mags.
Wow. It plays so ratty, it's funny. Cool, bud. Like, bro, it is not good. Mellow 2 turns. Bro, there's 3 of you waiting. Like, chow it out.
Holy shit.
Kids aren't even
Holy shit.
What's going on, guys? Greg here today, bringing you a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 gameplay commentary. But before we get into that, little face cam action, because boy, I'm getting cut. All right, I've been going to the gym for about 4 months again now, back on my bodybuilding and powerlifting grind. I was out for a little while due to injury and laziness, and I put on a lot of extra weight because I'm not gonna lie, your boy wanted to eat. All right, and whenever I wanted to eat, I was eating good, and by good, I mean shit. So, now that I'm back on my gym grind, man, we're shredding off those extra pounds. We were at a 39-inch waist, and I'm not gonna lie, that was gross, man. I was feeling gross because I just did not like the way it felt on me, and now we're back down to 34.5 inches in just 4 months. On top of that, regained all my muscle mass, even put on a little extra. So we're feeling good, we're getting cut, but I'm gonna tell you guys one thing. That's not the only thing that's getting cut out here, because your boy switched to dynamic response curve, which is superior. And we're going to talk about it today and why I switched to it. And I'll tell you what, these lobbies are getting cut too. So let's get right into it. Alright, so let's talk about it. Why did I switch to dynamic? And this is actually one of the first matches you're going to see me play on dynamic in pubs after playing. I think I did a 1v1 against my friend who's really good on high sensitivity, and the reason that I did that is because it was going to help me get used to dynamic faster playing against a really good player, because it's going to force me to aim better, all that kind of stuff. So me and my one friend, we always do like 1v1s and stuff to warm up if we're going to play some ranked play, or if we're going to play some whatever, you know, pubs. If we really feel like we need a warm-up, and we'll go ahead and do that. But I asked him to do it for me because I really wanted to get used to dynamic. So I highly recommend you guys actually utilize your friends to do 1v1s and stuff, because it'll help you guys get better mechanics, especially if you have a friend who's better than you or on the same skill level as you. It's much easier to improve faster by playing against those kinds of players. But dynamic. So first things first, my aim was a little shaky this match because, again, whole different response curve than standard, and it feels a lot different. It's much faster, it's much more responsive, and therefore I'm not used to it yet. I didn't have the muscle memory built up, but I could tell while I was playing this match that there were some benefits that you might not be able to notice just by watching the gameplay, but how it feels compared to playing on standard. So number one, it's easier to center on dynamic because you have much more fine control over your thumbsticks. So if you don't know the difference between standard and dynamic, standard is a exponential curve, whereas dynamic is a reverse S-curve. And this is in terms of graphs in mathematics. So if you weren't really good at math, then you're probably not going to be understanding what I'm saying, but I'll try to get some graphs on screen for you guys here. So yeah, centering is definitely one of the things that I've noticed is greatly improved by using dynamic response curve, but that's not where it ends. Another thing is recoil. Recoil is so much easier to control on dynamic because you have that faster sensitivity as you are making minor adjustments, and therefore as you are pulling down, it's going to be more responsive to the vertical recoil direction, so you'll be able to have a much easier time controlling recoil, and that is something that I've also noticed. It is just night and day difference whenever it comes to compensation for recoil, and I think I'm actually going to start taking away some of my recoil control builds and actually balance out some of my builds a little bit more for handling, because I'm not going to lie, this Vaznev setup right here, this is the Pro Vaznev setup, and it doesn't actually have much recoil control at all whenever it comes to the compared to the base variant of the Vaznev, and I barely noticed the recoil at all on it. Now, of course, the only thing I'm really noticing is the idle sway and the damage ranges, so whenever it comes to other guns, I'm definitely going to be building my classes a little bit differently, but again, I say that this is going to come down to individual skill level and your own way that you control recoil, and it's going to heavily determine on that. Now, another nice thing is that hipfire, because we have a faster sensitivity whenever we are up close and making minor adjustments, hipfire is much more responsive. So niche hipfire builds are even more effective on dynamic, and you might be wondering why I always used to say standard is much better for the longer range fighting, and that's simply because I always thought that whenever you have a exponential curve, you at least know what's slow, what's fast, right? It's just something I was used to for a very long time. And while there still is some truth to that, I think it's actually easier on dynamic now, because there is a point in time of the aim curve where you actually get a little bit of linear aiming, and that's around whenever you have pretty much even pressure applied to your thumbstick. I don't really know how to explain it too much, but it's like the middle of the response curve, and you get some linear aiming, which means you're going to have a consistent sensitivity, so it makes it feel really nice for snapping on people and even tracking people, especially down those longer ranges. And honestly, I highly recommend you guys switch to dynamic as well. Anyways, that's the gameplay for today. That's why I switched to dynamic. It helped out a lot in the higher ranks of ranked play, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.